Hello, I'm Catherine, aka Cat, aka Hippynoodle, and welcome to my first YouTube video. This is my making space, my little studio in my back bedroom, and I wanted to show you guys around. But unfortunately, it's an absolute pigsty. It has been a bit of a dumping ground the last few weeks, and well, they say a messy room is a sign of a creative mind. Well, mine must be really creative because I can't even move in here at the moment. So I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up, and then hopefully we can think about what projects we're going to do next. So here we have a collection of part finished projects in bags that the cat has been sleeping on. And moving up to my desk, we have remnants of a dyeing session. We have my sewing machine, which is more or less permanently out, really needs putting away. Look at all that paperwork that needs sorting out, odds and ends that need putting away. My shelves are such a mess. And then around here we have got, well, let's see, a pile of jumble that needs to go to the charity shop. And more flotsam and jetsam of my knitting and crocheting life. There literally is no room to move in here. Right, so I've been having a little tidy up of my yarn collection because quite honestly it's more fun than real tidying up, and also at this point I've sort of backed myself into a corner with rubbish blocking my exit from the room. So what I have here is a collection of Hippynoodle yarn down here, my own hand dyed yarn, which is waiting to be labelled and sent out to my lovely Etsy customers. This one is the first one I ever sold when I opened my Etsy shop a year ago. This is called Apple Blossom, still one of my best sellers, and this is waiting to get shipped out. Also got a few projects part finished, as you can see. This is around about 80 odd granny squares waiting to be joined together, which I'll get round to at some point to make a blanket. My fairly modest collection of luxury yarns that I've bought at fibre festivals just because they were pretty and they felt too lovely to leave behind. A fair amount of sock yarn, predictably, because I'm kind of a little bit addicted to knitting socks. Also up at the top here you can just about see a project which is on the naughty step because it went horribly wrong and it looked just like a dishcloth. So it's staying on the naughty step until it learns how to behave itself. But although I'm a self-confessed yarn snob, I do use acrylic yarn quite a bit, especially if I'm making something that I want to be very hard wearing, something for children for example, something that is just going to get thrown in the washing machine and I know it's going to carry on looking good. I can't beat Stylecraft Special, and you'll see I've got quite a collection of acrylic yarns here as well. Ugh, at this point I am literally just moving stuff around. I mean, how do you even start with all this? Let's get these dies put away. Imagine it's blatantly obvious by now that I know nothing about filming or cameras or anything, but just got to try and get this place straight. Oh, this is a old spice rack that was in my kitchen when I moved into my house, and painted it up, and now I use it to store all my dies and buttons and ribbons and things like that. Incidentally, these custom built shelf units and desk and cupboards were all made by Brainfizz for me, and I'm extremely lucky to have someone that can make me bespoke furniture. And I know that just because the end panels are still missing and Brainfizz says he's going to do something, he doesn't need to be reminded every 5 or 6 years to get the job finished. Right, at this point I'm just going to set the camera rolling and just get on with it because well, it's going to take me all day and there's quite a lot to sort out. So I've just unearthed another part finished project that I've forgotten about, which is probably not going to fit me now because lost a bit of weight since I started that, so that's going to have to get unravelled and start again, I guess, or made into something else. Paperwork is my nemesis. I'm going to have to catch up on all the invoices and bills and stuff. some point, but who wants to do that? I mean, when you can be making stuff, right? You guys get it. Ugh. Spare mask. Right there for now. Need to get some curtain tie backs of some description sorted out. I wonder if I could use some ribbon. I guess I'm going to have to get some proper tie backs sorted out. Oh, here's some ribbon. This could work. There's probably only enough for one side though. I never close these curtains anyway, so there's one. See if I can find a bit for the other side. Oh, more yarn. Forgotten about this. And another part finished project that I decided I didn't like. That's going to have to get pulled out and made into something else. This little seat lives in the corner of my studio, and on it is one of the first blankets I ever crocheted. Quite a steep learning curve actually, this one. I learnt a lot about different yarns and fibres and different crochet techniques as well. Each square is a different stitch or technique. It's not perfect by any means, but I keep it here because it reminds me of how far I've come. It's a simple fact of life. However much storage space you've got, it's never enough. I've got undyed yarn here, packaging materials, and crochet bag there just stuffed in the middle, and a part finished quilt hanging on the back of the door. If only I had someone that could make me bespoke storage where I could keep all of this stuff. Right, so that's it, more or less tidied up now. It's not perfect by any means and definitely not immaculate. Still got about 6 months worth of accounts to catch up on, but I have at least managed to make a bit of space so that I can get on with some of the 1,000,001 projects that are buzzing around inside my brain at the moment. 2 weeks ago we were at Makers Central and spent the weekend being just inspired by the most amazing group of makers, and I've come away with all these crazy ideas of things that I want to try out. So now that I've made a bit of space, hopefully we can get on with some cool making projects, and I really hope that you will come back and see how some of those go. And be nice, this is my first video, so if you'd like to click thumbs up or give me a comment or even a subscribe or even a share, I'd be really, really grateful. See you next time. I need help, I need an adult.